I'm Krista Johnson. This is Theodore. It's day 4 here. And my goal for him is to get him to be as user-friendly as possible for myself and anybody else that handles him, for his potential new adopter, for anybody that comes along. I have no idea how he does with dewormer. The Heart of Phoenix Rescue was nice enough to send a bottle of dewormer with him. So I kind of want to test him out. I just have an empty bottle here that I cleaned up and let dry out. And I like that this one's thinner just for a training session because I'm not squeezing a large tube in his mouth, but I do have one of those that I can use too to prepare him for that. I'm going to start just like I would haltering him. I kind of want to be in this pocket between his jaw and his shoulder. I like how his weight's more on his outside front. So take the cap off of this, and wouldn't it be cool if he just put that in his own mouth and I didn't have to put it there? I'm just going to let him check it out. I don't want him nibbling on me because I don't want him to think it's okay to chew on people, but darn, if he puts that in his mouth on his own accord. This was some apple-flavored ivermectin that another horse got the other day, so it might still, even though despite washing it with soap and water, have a little bit of flavor to it. I'm not curious about that so much anymore. He's like, I know what that is. But, you can try putting, applesauce or something in there too to get him more friendly with this. For him specifically, I'm not doing that because he's on a special low sugar, low carb diet right now because of his body score. But even the unsweetened applesauce, I'm not sure how much sugar's in that stuff, so he doesn't get any of that good stuff right now, but you can use that. I'll make a funny face too. He's going to be so much fun. I'm just going to make this the most chill training session I can possibly make it. Look at that, he's going to go for round 3 there. He's even putting it in his nose. Sometimes just letting them check it out on their own accord will help you so much more. I got to get that smell out of my nose now. He's coming back though. It's not like he's like, oh, that's the nasty stuff. I'm going to avoid that at all costs. Once he gets to where maybe he doesn't want to sniff it and put it in his mouth, then that might be where I start progressing a little bit further. But I just want to allow that curiosity and let him check it out. Horses will use their 5 senses to determine whether something's a threat to them. Their first one is they'll listen and smell from quite a distance away and obviously look from a distance away. But as they get closer to the object that they're trying to investigate, if they get curious, they might touch it. They might touch it with their nose, they might touch it with their foot. But if they get really curious, they'll actually try to taste it. They'll put it in their mouth. You'll see horses do that with ropes. I've seen young horses in a trailer loading training session, like even kind of chew on the floor mats in the trailer, trying to figure out what they were. And so it's a really good sign if they're willing to kind of taste something. And a lot of times we perceive that as being naughty. I try to look at it for what it is and see if that curiosity is there. I don't want to knock that out of him. Now, if he were to go to like chew on my several $1,000 saddle, I might not allow that, but he's certainly allowed to sniff it. I don't care if they chew on my ropes. They're good quality ropes. I haven't had one destroy one yet, so if they want to try, challenge accepted, I guess. But, I don't want to let him chew on people. That'd be something that I wouldn't allow. But he's thinking really hard there. He's got that introverted thinking look there. I think he might be done being curious about what it is, though, and I think he figured out what might be in that tube. So from here, I might just see if I can tip his nose over here. I might put my hand over here on this side. I want to just see if I can approach the corner of his lip there and touch him. Good, I got no reaction. I didn't want one. Poke it in a little bit more. Take it away. Just kind of want to use that retreat and approach just to see how okay he's going to be with it. I don't ever want anything to ever feel like it's a fight. There's certainly times where I'll make things uncomfortable for a horse when they're going, through or towards closed doors where I'm trying to get them to find that open door. But I don't ever want anything to feel like it's a fight if I can help it. All right, just stick that in there. Pretty good. Take it away. Take my hand away. Let them think about that. If your horse doesn't have any diet restrictions, you might be able to use some unsweetened applesauce. It's not a terrible idea, but for him, he just gets the plain tube, and I don't smell anything on it, but maybe his sense of smell is a little bit better than mine. I'll try that again. And I actually want them to think about tipping their nose towards it and putting it in their own mouth if we can get them that good about it. I don't like that he's putting his head up there, so I'm not going to take it away until he puts his head down. And then I'll take it away. If I take the tube away from the corner of his mouth while he's kind of going up and trying to suck back, then he'll think that that's the way to get it to go away. I want him to think that the way to get it to go away is to allow it to go up into his mouth, have whatever squeezed in it, and then have it be done and over with. I'll make sure I can kind of keep it in there long enough to kind of squeeze that syringe. Let's see if I can get his head to come back down here, and then I'll release him. I don't really feel like I need to do a whole lot more there. He's doing pretty good. He's not doing bad. I don't ever expect him to be excited about some kind of medicine that might taste funky, but they need to be able to be okay about it. And I like that he's kind of connecting with me here instead of trying to avoid it. So I'm going to leave it at that, and next time I might just try the actual tubed dewormer, and maybe he does great. Someone probably already did a good job with this kind of stuff before he came to me, which is fantastic, but I didn't know, and I wanted to try it out with an empty tubed dewormer so we don't waste the actual tubed dewormer or have a fight when it comes. So thanks for joining us.